Hi, I'm Allie Weatherford. I am a childbirth educator at Breastfeeding Success, and I'm here with Becky Medansky of Lady Bird PT in Austin, Texas. Hi, Becky.
Hi, Allie.
So I asked you to meet with me today so that you could maybe talk a little bit about cesarean recovery. So first, though, would you tell us why, what you do on a daily basis, what your work is, and the qualifications that make you an expert on this topic?
Totally. My name is Becky, like Allie said. I am a pelvic floor physical therapist. I've been working pretty much exclusively with pregnant and postpartum folks for the last almost 6 years. I have my doctorate in physical therapy, and I've taken hundreds of hours of continuing education in pregnancy and postpartum related health and physical therapy. So I've been working with folks who've had C-sections for many, many years. And even before then, in my orthopedic PT career, I was seeing folks experiencing C-section recovery from a different lens too. So that's where I'm coming from. I also own Lady Bird PT, which is a practice here in Austin that specializes in perinatal health. So we have a team of 5 physical therapists, and this is pretty much all that we do.
Really important stuff. I can speak from personal experience. So today I really want to talk about, so I teach a class called What You Should Know About C-Section and VBAC. In that class, I hope to prepare people for what a cesarean might be like, specifically, in the surgery, how to kind of prepare for this, what kinds of things you should know about your options, how to participate in your care, decision-making, even when a surgery becomes necessary, because there are still options that you should know and think about. And then we talk some about the recovery after a cesarean and what it might mean for future pregnancies. But you have a new course that I'm really interested in, and I've been loving watching, which picks up kind of where I usually leave off in that class. And it gets into the details about methods for managing pain in early recovery, how to prevent future problems, what to do if recovery doesn't go perfectly, even if someone's still having pain years after a cesarean. So I really would just like you to tell us a little bit more about that. Specifically, I'm curious to know what in your daily practice, in your clinic, made you see that there's a need to share this information and how to help people.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, first of all, I love the course that you're teaching, and I'm so glad that a course like that exists, because as somebody who's been talking to pregnant people over the years of my career, and I know you've seen the same thing, it's really difficult to talk to a room full of people hoping for a vaginal birth about the likelihood that 1 in 3 of them will have a C-section. People during pregnancy are already so overloaded with information, already so stressed about pregnancy and birth. They don't really have the capacity to think about postpartum recovery. And it's really hard to think about the possible alternative outcome, which is a cesarean birth, despite the fact that we know in Texas, what is it, 34% of people will have a C-section. So I'm really glad that you're teaching the class that you're teaching. And because I know that it is so hard to inform people ahead of time what C-section recovery can look like, that's why I really wanted to create this Managing C-section course. Because when I see people in my practice, typically they're not coming in after a cesarean until 3 weeks at the earliest. 6 weeks is great case scenario, but oftentimes we're not seeing people for 3 to 6 months after C-sections, because people don't know what to expect and they don't know how to support themselves, and nobody's telling them. Postpartum care following a cesarean is no more comprehensive than postpartum care following a vaginal birth. People have maybe a couple of visits with their provider if their scar is healing well, meaning it's coming together and there's no inflammation, signs of infection. And they're not being guided beyond that. And yet they're being sent home post-operatively following a major abdominal surgery to care for a new baby, possibly with older children at home. And so this course was really meant to catch people who are falling into that experience without information, without guidance, without understanding what they're doing that can support their body, what they're doing that might be less supportive for their body because nobody's told them. And so we go through in the beginning of the course just a lot of C-section information, like what a C-section really is, what somebody should expect, what isn't normal following a C-section, what are signs you need to reach out to your provider versus what are signs that this is a normal type of discomfort that will improve if we do these things to facilitate your healing. And then we go into a few weeks of just really, really gentle movement to support ourselves in those early 6 weeks where our body's healing. Things like breathing, how to work on posture, how to reacquaint our bodies with this scar so that we don't develop this aversion to our abdomen. And then after that 6-week or that clearance mark, when folks are typically seeing their provider, we move into a 6-week progression that's really comprehensively addressing the muscle weaknesses, the muscle tension and tightness, the fascial impact of a C-section, the postural impact of a C-section with exercise and movement so that people can start to feel safer, more comfortable in their body, returning to progressive exercise on their own. And then, of course, we go into scar massage, scar desensitization, all of those hands-on techniques that you can use if you are having scar pain, if you are having discomfort around the scar.
Yeah, I think most everything that I've seen in there would be very new information for most people and really important stuff. So thank you. And Dr. Rebecca Medansky is our neighbor in South Austin, and we're really lucky to have you here locally. And thank you also for providing our students, our clients, with a discount code for this course if they would like to take it. So we are very happy to have you, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, Allie. And same. I'm so grateful for everything you and Breastfeeding Success does. And you all are such an asset to pregnant and postpartum folks here in Central Texas, but also everywhere. So thank you for having me, and thank you for all that you do.
Okay. Bye-bye.